everybody. Thank you all for finding out time to join us for the F&B Talks by the Restaurant Times. My name is Tania and I would be your host for today. And for those who are with us for the first time, F&B Talks is a knowledge-based series that brings together people who seek a deeper understanding of the world of the restaurants. Our aim is to build a free knowledge base on various aspects of running a restaurant business with top restaurateurs of the world. Today, we have with us a lady who has been inspiring all of us, featured in top 25 most influential women in Middle East, F&B, and Restaurateur of the Year, welcoming Tania Lodi, founder and owner of Tanias Teahouse and Sherni Tea by Tanias Teahouse. Tanias Teahouse has also been featured in the top restaurants of Dubai by female owners, founders, or chefs by the Times Out. Also, it gives me an immense pleasure to share that in this era of digitalization, Tanias Teahouse was awarded the 7th most Instagrammable cafe in the world. The cafe's stylish interior featuring elegant rose gold accent, minimalist marble touches and plants make Tanias Teahouse an optimal menu for freelance creative workers remotely, casual catch-ups, family brunches, and occasions, a hip community hub for creative tea in Dubai. They also specialize corporate gifts and events. The brand has attracted cult-like following through its social presence and it's fast becoming a household name. Welcome to F&B Talks, Tania. It's always a pride moment and a proud to have inspiring leaders like you here in our community.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Okay, so without any further delays and further arrows, let's move towards the question. So my first question to you, Tania, is that Tania's Teahouse is really renowned and known for its curation of mindful menus and fantastic names. What do you actually mean by it? And in your opinion, what are the major factors that one must, keep in mind while setting up a tagline or a name for their restaurant?
Good question. So basically by mindful menu, that just means that we have inclusive offerings. So offerings that are suitable for all dietary restrictions, taste palettes, and allergies. Finding a menu with offerings that are gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free, keto, vegan, vegetarian, the rise of autoimmune disorders has showed us that a lot of people have different food intolerances. So we want to make sure we can accommodate all of these dietary restrictions, but also staying full flavored and delicious. We don't want to have boring food that's just, healthy. We want to put a fun twist on it. We want people to say, wow, I can't believe this is gluten-free. It tastes just like bread, or wow, there's no sugar in this. It's still sweet. So finding a way to stay interesting, to stay fresh, healthy, and full flavored, but also still make your tummy happy. And in terms of the puns, my personal humor is dad jokes and puns, and I wanted to do something different. And I think puns are so witty and fun, and honestly, they put a smile on my face. So it kind of adds to our customer experience and our quirky brand ethos to have all of our menu names to be a bit quirky.
That's amazing. And what do you think about, the major factors that one must keep in mind while setting up a name of a restaurant or a tagline for a restaurant?
I think the main thing is obviously to do something different. You don't want to be a follower. You want to be a trendsetter, especially in such a talented community here with so many different restaurant choices and offerings and so many different kind of cuisines and brands. And, we're in such a talented community. So it's there's a lot of healthy competition around, but you want to be able to stand out and do something that's different and also remain authentic. You don't want to copy paste something you see in a different country that's working and think that you can kind of recreate that magic. No, I really think that a brand's authenticity is super important. And so for us and for me, that personally means just thinking outside of the box, staying authentic to your brand, and having a bit of fun.
That's absolutely so correct. I totally agree to it. And we can always see it by the name that you get. Sherni is like something I was even shocked, like, wow, what a brilliant name.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so my next question is like being the seventh most Instagrammable cafe defines a lot about the interior and the decor and the design of the place. So according to you, what role does restaurant designing plays in gaining customers, and how did you come up with the idea and decors for Tania's Tea House?
Thank you. So yeah, the seventh most Instagrammable cafe was definitely really humbling. I do like to make sure that it's kind of a push to stay, as much as we care about being Instagrammable, I want to be Instagrammable, but impactful. I don't want to just be a pretty space that people come take pictures and leave. I really strive to be a place that is impactful. So that means, what does impactful mean for me? It means that we're providing a space that is, yes, picturesque, pretty to look at, but is also a healing space, a place that you come and you feel relaxed, a place that you're escaping the daily grind and you're kind of losing yourself in the cafe culture, which is the smells all around you, the comfy seating, the delicious food, the soothing music, the pretty space that makes you feel like you're kind of in a safe space. And I really believe in the power of cafe culture and how, cafes are my happy place. I think finding a place that really resonates with you and kind of attracting the customers in a psychological way that is aesthetically pleasing and relaxing, and spaces have energy. So being able to kind of harness being Instagrammable, but also being a place of healing and compassion, and a place that actually just makes you feel better about yourself.
Amazing. I love your idea of the place making you feel better about yourself. Totally. And what do you think is, how major role does restaurant designing plays in gaining and attracting customers?
A huge role, because as great as it is to have good food, when you're sitting and eating that good food or good tea or good coffee, you want to feel relaxed. You don't want to be stuck in a stuffy chair or like be in a place that kind of looks sad and depressing. So utilizing for us like soft pastel colors. There's a psychology behind colors itself. So pastels are supposed to be soothing and welcoming. The marble, the rose gold is all stuff that's trending, but also stuff that kind of makes you feel like being in a pretty place makes you feel pretty yourself. I really think that like being in places that are aesthetically pleasing makes you also feel better about yourself, makes you feel comfortable and kind of enamored. And in terms of like the design of like we have all these framed images, we have a frame wall, we have plants. Plants obviously add a lot of positive vibes and add kind of a soothing, relaxing atmosphere. So kind of picking together all the elements of the seating, the walls, the decor, the art pieces, and all of that ties in together, and it kind of creates the space around you.
And like, where did you get the idea to decorate and design Tania's Tea House? Who was a source of inspiration for you?
To be honest, I just love Pinterest. I don't have any interior design experience, but I'm a huge fan of DIY, and I handpicked everything myself,
Wow.
from the flooring to the tiles to the kind of everything. I'm a visionary, so I wanted to kind of have my personal say in every single part of the cafe, both Serenity and Tanias Teahouse. So yeah, to be honest, I was just inspired by Pinterest, and I kind of went with it.
Wow, this is so good to know that Pinterest is like, a reliable source, and you
Yeah.
can get the Instagrammable cafe in the world. Amazing to know, Tanya. Amazing. And being UAE settled in UAE is like a place full of different and unique concepts, and you will find a lot of cafes and restaurants there. So how do you actually manage the competition there? And what is your take in making restaurants unique and sustainable? Like, how do you make sure that Tania's Tea House outstand the rest?
So I really think the main thing is thinking outside of the box, being a trendsetter and not a trend follower, finding little ways to kind of find your niche, be quirky and kind of unique in your own way. Don't try and have 50 amazing, unique, you can't find anywhere else kind of things on your menu. Most successful restaurants and businesses have, obviously, like their full offerings should be delicious and high quality, but they have a few signature items that really pop and stand out, because it's impossible for every single dish to be something unique that you've never heard of, and you also want to tie people in. So for us, really, it's just thinking outside of the box, and like looking at competition as something healthy, on a brand ethos level, like adding this whole jealous and bitter vibe. I think it really harms the health of your company and your own personal heart. I really think if you're sitting and kind of resenting other places for doing XYZ, it's not good for the company. It's not good for your brand. It's not good for yourself. And I think people will copy you regardless. Think of it as flattering, because actually having that heart and soul of a business is the hardest thing to achieve.
So how do you make sure that, you have a unique menu all the time and all the food concepts are going very unique and trendy with you?
So it's really important to kind of stay with the food trends in terms of, what new items are being discovered, what new combinations are being discovered, staying on top of the health benefits that we're constantly finding out about different ingredients. At Tanias Teahouse, we're really passionate about adaptogens, which are ingredients that are healing and help increase your resilience towards environmental stressors. So, as much as we get a lot of ideas about what food items are trending or what food themes are trending, for instance, sustainability and kind of looking at different gluten-free options, different sugar-free options, kind of looking at things that are trending worldwide, but also things that kind of resonate with us, which are the healing ingredients, and kind of experimenting, having fun, testing out different combinations. Like right now with our new menu that's launching later in June, we're hand dyeing our bread using our tea. So our berry tea is actually being used as the natural colorant in our bread, so that it's making it like a light pink color.
Wow.
So like experimenting with different things and kind of finding ways to stay sustainable, to stay healthy, to stay delicious, but not doing a copy paste of a dish you see that's working somewhere else.
Absolutely, absolutely. And your menu has, coming on your question again, making a question from what you said, like your menu has a great fusion of various tea, which actually makes it very attractive and unique in itself. And yeah, it was like I was lost when I was wondering, going through your menu. Wow, amazing, amazing. These were the words when I was telling about the fusion. And what are your thoughts on menu creation and designing, and what all things you think that one should go through before deciding for a menu? And for a great menu, what all factors do you consider one should follow?
Great question. I think there's also a science to it. In terms of menu engineering, from an operational point of view, you don't want to overwhelm the customer. You don't want to have a 50-page menu of different things. Normally, customers, they come in, they kind of want to, for the first time they're coming in, they want to know what they should have. They need guidance, they need help. So our staff training is such that, we're here to ask you what your flavor palette is, what dietary restrictions you have, what kind of teas you like. So we want it to be a very conversational thing where we kind of help you scope out what you want. And at the same time, because you don't want to overwhelm the guest, it's important to explain the description of each item, but to not kind of make it a paragraph about each thing. And even our puns, we don't want to make them too confusing either, because then people are just gonna, look at it and be like, but what is it? And at the same time, again, from an operational point of view, you want to stay sustainable with your ingredients. So food wastage is enormous in this industry. And then something that's very important to us is to try and reduce our food wastage. We don't want to be wasting all these ingredients just for the sake of putting food on the table. So we have certain ingredients that are recycled in. We hand make all of our food. Everything is made fresh and in-house. And we're a small batch cafe, which means if we run out of something, we run out of it. We don't want to have, make 50 times the amount and then have to waste all of it either.
Correct.
The operational side of it. But to answer your question properly for a customer's point of view, it's important to make your menu exciting. It's important to make it clear, simple, but still exciting.
Absolutely. No, definitely. If the menu is not even, exciting towards customer, or the customer is not feeling comfortable while reading the menu, it means the engineering is somewhere wrong. Uh-huh. So recently I got to know that Tanias Teahouse has started for the franchising, and I would really like to know what are your expansion plans and how do you go about your franchising module?
Sure. So it's really exciting for us because we've opened up our second branch. And, since opening, which has been 5 years now, we've had a lot of inquiries about people investing or people franchising our business. We've had an overwhelming response from people saying that they want to open our brand and they want to see it in their hometown, their country. And I want to take over the cafe world one cup of tea at a time. It's exciting to open Tanias Teahouse in different markets, especially considering the way our business model works is that each brand is a sister concept. It's not a copy paste. So like Serenity, the interiors are slightly different. The brand ethos remains the same. And I really see that in different countries using puns that are relatable to wherever we're opening in would work. Here it's "Hey there, Habibti," which people love. Who knows what it'll be in London or India, Pakistan, Canada. I'm running out of countries at the top of my head, but different parts of the GCC. And I think it's tea is a universal culture, and I can really see us working in different parts of the world. Right now, we're mainly focusing on the GCC and the UK. But keep your eyes peeled because we might be opening up somewhere soon.
I'd be waiting for India.
That would be lovely.
And why do you think that, restaurant franchising is important? What, in your mind, what is your take on the importance of restaurant franchising?
So I think it's firstly important to have a business model that's sustainable. So, as much as we want to stay creative and unique, there do need to be automated processes in place from an operational point of view. And obviously the business model has to be sustainable. It has to be working before you think that you can replicate it, which, thanks to the grace of God, we are working and we are ready to expand. And I think obviously finding the right partner to open with, someone that understands the brand, someone who you can trust. This is my baby. So I'm finding someone who's ready to kind of raise another one of my babies. So from that point of view, it's something that's super important. And also the element of being able to work in different countries. So being able to offer maybe a special menu of food that works in that region, putting a twist on it, being able to be versatile is something that's super important for the brand in terms of the look and feel, the puns, something that is completely relatable for there. And that's something I'm passionate about. I really, I love the idea of creativity. I love the idea of, opening the space in different places. And I think it's just a matter of finding the right person to partner with.
Absolutely. In the end, now, I just want to ask you, any advice you want to give to the budding restaurateurs, the challenges you faced, about the mistakes that you made, or maybe, some of your greatest stories you want to share about?
Okay, let me think. Okay, in terms of advice, I would definitely say if you want to start your own business, it's very important to not romanticize it, because I think our generation, like millennials, we all kind of think it's a dream to open your own business. You think I'm going to have to work only a few hours a day, that I can kick my feet back and relax. No, that's not how it works. So if you really do want to start your own business, you have to be 200% in. Yes, you're your own boss in many cases, but you have to hold yourself accountable. You don't have the luxury of, kind of having the stability of being part of another company. So it is so important to realize that it is hard work. And forget about work-life balance, forget about weekends. And, but it's all worth it. If you're passionate about your own business, if you're motivated, it'll work. But if you think that it's a free pass to start your own business and that it's easier, then you are greatly mistaken. And I feel like every entrepreneur will tell you this, that it is hard work. It is blood, sweat, and tears. It's raising children, really. It's raising, creating your own thing and, having to monitor it all the time. Not to scare anyone off, but, you have to be ready for the fight kind of thing. Another important thing is, I really think that do good and, the universe will give back to you. I really believe in running your business in an ethical, kind, and compassionate manner, with your team, with your suppliers, with your customers, taking shortcuts, being a nasty person, all of this stuff. I really think that your business will fail. As cheesy as that sounds, I really think that people resonate with the heart and soul of the company. And if it is rotten to the core, then it will not do well. So yeah, I think being a kind person, especially a boss, an employer, it is super important. Another thing is, don't expect everyone to love or understand your business. You can't be everyone's cup of tea, pun intended. And you cannot force people to understand or like your brand, and you have to be okay with that. I think those would be my three most kind of useful pieces of advice. Do you want me to add more? Is there?
Thank you so much, Tania. It was totally amazing having you with us, and I hope you keep inspiring people like you've always done. It was such an amazing session with you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.